Young Jesus. Boy Meets World, Topanga, take 2.
Taking, we ain't taking, we live.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know it. I didn't know we were live. Hold on, Kimmy sent me a text message.
What'd she say?
Yeah, I know.
Who do you want to send it to?
Who do you want to send it to?
Was that me?
That's you, bud.
Oh, I am take 2. That looks smooth. That's smooth and schmitten.
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the podcast. Forgiven Soldier is the name. My name is Brian. This is Paul.
Willie P.
Willie P, as we like to call him as of
Now.
right now.
Yeah.
We just made that up.
Yep.
We're doing last minute check-ins with wives. And
Really.
you want to give your wife a shout out?
What's up, baby boo? I love you so much.
Hey,
Every day is Mother's Day and every day is our anniversary. That's how much I love you.
That's it. That's it. If you're on, say what's up like Prentice Williams did. What's up?
What's up, Phyllis?
What's up?
That's
fella?
a cool name.
It is. It's a great name. Prentice.
Not
No.
but just
He
Prentice. He is the Prentice. The
Prentice, did you have a nickname growing up or did you just stick with Prentice?
A name like that would have been like Master P.
Yeah.
Prentice, that's the best name ever, man.
Hey, so tonight we man, it's just me and Paul. We're gonna chop it up. The original
Dynamic duo.
crew. Minus Travis.
We miss Zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Hey, this is your water. It's not my water. There you go.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You are welcome.
Man, it's hot in here.
So take them onion.
So we had, man, it was a crazy week. Crazy week.
Yes.
But before we get into that, make sure, guys, share it.
And gals.
And gals.
Yeah.
We love our women. Make
I
sure
love,
you
I love
share
my
it.
woman. I don't love. Well, I love my count girls. I love my girls.
The original P. Diddy.
The original.
The original P. Diddy.
That's awesome.
Hold on. The original. How old are you, Prentice? That's how we know. Because Master P is like, or Puff
P.
Daddy
Puff Daddy, yeah.
is
Yeah,
probably close to, he's mid-50s.
probably. I don't know. You can Google it and find out and tell us.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to say
Appreciate the share, Adam.
thanks,
Adam
man.
Ash.
I think the P. Diddy, I think P. Diddy is probably 52. I think Puff Daddy is probably 51.
You think?
And I think P. Diddy.
You think I'm going to Google that? I wasn't trying to
Did I say
Google.
P. Diddy? He's had 3 different names, hadn't he?
P. Diddy,
Puff Daddy,
Puff Daddy,
and Diddy. I think
Diddy.
Diddy is 53
Diddy.
because he's Giddy Diddy. He Diddy. Giddy Diddy.
I'm trying to share this. I'm really not just checking my Facebook and just chilling. We're going to get to it, I promise you.
Yeah.
We got you all night.
No.
Everybody say hey, oh.
I didn't hear nobody.
Man, I can't share. I don't know what's up.
I shared because that's part of my last name, Sharon. It's what I do. It's what I did.
Anybody watching the NBA games right now? I think Milwaukee and Miami's playing. Have you been following it?
Negative Ghost
Are
Rider.
you an NBA fan?
I was, and then Jordan retired the second time.
Like you haven't watched basketball since like 2000?
I watch like the finals some, but it's not the same anymore. It's not
I mean, it's
It
not
is
the same.
not
You're right.
the same.
It is not the same.
Not even a debate.
But it's still good though. You watch Stephen Curry play? Dude is magic.
He's not Johnson.
Oh, he's better than Johnson.
Boo.
He's way better than Johnson.
I'll start watching the NBA when they play defense 4 quarters.
I'll give you that.
And the argument will be, well, they didn't play defense back then in 4 quarters. They just waited till the last. But no, they didn't.
No,
It
they-
depended on who they were playing. If the Bulls were playing the Pistons, go back and watch those games.
Yeah.
If they were playing the Pacers, go back and watch those
The
games.
Knicks.
The Knicks, go back and watch it. And the Celtics, go back and watch it. And the Lakers. All the other teams, they're probably like, we'll just play defense 4th
Yeah.
quarter.
Portland, they
what's the
didn't
point?
have to.
No.
Watch LeBron cry because he got blocked out by Chris Paul. Amen, brother. That was a big. Did you see that?
He cried.
Yeah, he cried, hold his
Like a
like he
little
pulled
sissy.
his shoulder out.
Oh, Chris
Paul is soaking wet 185.
Yeah.
Maybe 200. He's getting older now.
Yep.
LeBron he's a monster. And he flopped. Chris Paul hooked his elbow, flopped, and he was holding his shoulder.
He was holding the shoulder.
Like there's no way you got
That's
hurt by
LeBron
that,
James'
bro.
fault. He should have retired a long time
And
ago.
then but you have Kevin Durant in the game before that.
Yeah.
Goes up for a dunk.
Yeah.
Gets a blocking charge, falls with his elbow like behind him awkward. He bounces and gets right back up.
Like a bouncy ball.
And that dude is every bit of 85 pounds.
85 years old, too. No, he's not.
No, he's young.
So you watch a lot of it then. You watch a lot
I'm
of
a-
NBA
I'm a
basketball.
fan.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
fan.
I'm a fan. I follow him NFL more than I do college now. Before I was college and then
Whoa.
NFL.
See, I'm college. I like college football a lot. College football is my thing. I love
Ohio
college
State.
football.
The Ohio State.
Ohio State University. Love the old Buckeyes. And I like
Adam
the
Ash, big
NFL.
Celtics fan.
That's cool, man.
See, I
Adam's probably got a second home in French Lick, Indiana.
Adam Ash?
Yeah.
Why is that?
He's a Celtics fan.
Oh, because of Larry Bird. You got a home in French Lick? I know he just bought a house.
He's got another
that's
house,
awesome.
French Lick. It's on the third floor of the resort.
I will tell you, I followed Boston a little bit when they got Scary Terry from he's from Louisville.
Yeah.
I follow all the Louisville boys. There's only 3 or 4 of them, so it's very slim picking. Francisco Garcia was my favorite player in the NBA
Yeah.
at one point
Yeah.
for Houston and Sacramento Kings. So
Mm-hmm.
and then Montreal Herald's on the Lakers.
You're talking Greek to me because I don't really like. I just
So
don't follow
the 2013 national champions,
Yes,
Louisville
yes,
Cardinals.
Yeah.
Montreal Herald was on that team
Okay.
with Peyton Siva and Russ Smith.
That's the same time that O'Du broke his leg, right?
Yeah, Kevin Ware.
Yep.
Um,
Poor guy.
so then Montreal,
That was
he went to
nasty. And
the.
they replayed that.
I
That
know.
was nasty.
It was against Duke, so I was okay with that. But anyways, we weren't going to talk about.
No, we're not
Sports,
talking
I
NBA
guess, but-
basketball. But we'll talk sports. We can talk sports.
We can talk sports. I'm excited about NFL.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Hey, I got a question for you. You're a married man, and I got everybody can answer this question. Adam,
Happily.
the original Puff Daddy, if you're still on. Who's your favorite musician, favorite band, favorite artist?
My favorite
Yours.
band, my favorite artist, I would say.
Everybody put in the chat what your favorite one is.
Yeah, I think if I had to go to.
Just one. Like if they came to town, you're going to their concert.
I'm going
for sure.
to the Black Crowes.
Black Crows.
They
They come to Owensboro or surrounding area. You're going to that concert.
I'm going to go, yeah. And I'd say right there with them is I'm a 90s grunge kid, Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam. So say they come to town, all right? And your wife's a fan too, right? She likes music?
She loves the Beatles. I don't
Cammy?
think there's anybody out there that is more infatuated with the Beatles and all their members.
Okay. So if they
That didn't
say-
sound good. Yeah.
Pearl
She
Jam
loves the Beatles.
Pearl Jam comes to town,
Uh-huh.
you're going to get tickets
I remember
for you and your lady.
my woman.
And they only have one ticket. Only single tickets.
I need a driver.
Are you going?
I am going.
What if it's in Cincinnati?
I'll get an Uber
You would go
to the concert. Yeah, I would
by
go.
yourself.
I would go. No,
Just
It-
one ticket. You can only. There's only one.
If it's in
solo
Owensboro,
ticket.
if it's in Owensboro, because that'd be a lonely ride home.
But Cincinnati.
I know, but that'd be a lonely ride home. I would be like going there excited,
Sabbath.
in the moment, excited, on the way home, amped for a moment, but then decompressed to the point of shame because I'm going to walk into a house of a mad wife, very mad wife.
So Garth Brooks, huge fan.
Mhm.
Been my whole life. I know every song that
Yep.
he's ever wrote. I know every Chris Gaines song.
What's his pant size?
His pant size is extra large, 38-32s.
You're like,
Totally guessing. I don't know. He
I was
just looks
like,
like a
uh,
chunky dude.
Garth, what size do you wear?
But listen, I've been to a concert. I went April of 2016, came to the Yum Center.
Yeah.
Me and my brother went. Had a great time. Loved every bit of it. He is coming to Cincinnati on his stadium tour. So he's playing at the
that's where you're
Bengals,
getting.
Bengals,
You're
the
getting-
Bengals Stadium. So
Did you set me
it's-
up? Is she gonna be ticked at me,
No,
Sarah?
no, not at all. Because you said you wouldn't go. You said you wouldn't go, right?
if
Without
there's
your
only-
wife? If there's only one ticket.
Okay, go ahead.
So I was looking at tickets. They're like $97. I'm like, that's a great price, right? I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna go. It's in September. But then up there, big letters, it's like these are solo ticket or these are single tickets.
Yeah.
You're gonna be riding solo, is what it says. And I'm like, man, that would have been fun. But then I was like, do I go by myself? Is that weird?
No.
Like I'm a 40-year-old dude. I mean, I guess there's a bunch of
Hey, guys.
bunch of people there. But then I started thinking, I was like, there's no way I can go without my wife.
Yeah.
There's no way. But my sister-in-law says she would go by herself, but she is not married, so she has no clue of the wrath that
Yeah.
I would see when I walked in that
But
door.
is there any more solo tickets that you could buy?
There is 2 rows down. I told her, just get the
Then
ticket.
you're there
2
together.
rows down. We're there
You're-
together.
Yeah.
We'll wave
Yeah.
and we'll enjoy
I mean,
it
that's
together.
hold hand and that's like reachable.
Almost.
That's reachable.
Kevin Durant.
It's
He could
reachable.
reach that.
He'd be like the scene off of Titanic.
Yeah.
I never let you go.
I'll never let you go. Oh, it's a Thunder Rose. But
Thunder.
I don't know. So that's the question. Would you go without your spouse if it was a solo ticket? Go ahead and answer. We have 5 people.
That's
watching.
great. That is good. 5.
5. Man, when we first started, I was just happy that one person was going to watch it.
It was great. So I think an appropriate topic for tonight is we need to throw out some wisdom for these graduates.
Hey,
Okay, so I just attended a middle school graduation.
you did.
It was piping hot at Schaefer Glover Field. There were some snazzy dressed young men out there, some beautiful young
Nice.
ladies that are going to grow up and just be some future leaders of our community. Presidents, I see some presidents there, but I just was thinking, our graduation, like, it was nothing like this one. Of course, we didn't go through COVID and pandemic, all that
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of stuff, but they all got to get together. The stadium was pretty packed. It was good. But I was thinking about all the shenanigans that I did. I was waiting for that kid, like, to step
Nothing.
up.
There was
Like,
nothing.
to step up. And I was glad that they were well mannered. Miss Sanders is doing a great job putting the fear of God in them, so they don't misbehave.
We needed Miss Sanders back when we were younger.
Yeah, well, she was my math teacher in middle school. Was she yours too? Yeah.
No, I meant in high school.
In
I
high
was
school,
a good kid
yeah.
in middle school. I was scared.
Because we had Miss Sanders.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I don't remember her. You know what I remember from middle school, man? Hancock County. I don't remember much. I don't know how to love. I don't know much. I remember sex ed, and I was very green in middle school. I remember sex ed,
I don't remember.
and they showed how to put on a condom,
Oh Lord.
and it was with a banana
Oh.
and a condom. And I remember seeing this.
In
I remember
middle
taking it
school?
in, and I'm like,
In the mid 90s?
Yeah.
Early 90s? Like
Yeah.
94, 95? Wow.
man, this thing keeps on falling.
Best dad ever.
But they had a banana, they had the condom, and I'm like, what are they doing? I had no clue.
Yeah.
I wasn't educated,
Yeah.
and still not educated. And they were putting it on. I'm like, I was taking it in. I didn't make a joke because I didn't know if it was serious. I thought the teacher was kidding.
Yeah.
And then I remember going home. I remember talking to my mom. I'm like, do we? And I told her about the class. And I'm like, I had sex ed, and I was like, do you use bananas during sex? Like, I had no clue. Bro.
What?
No clue.
Oh,
No
Lord.
clue. And I don't know. With the sake of her watching this and me fibbing,
she'll
because
fact
I don't
check.
know her reaction,
She will fact check
she probably pat me on the head and said, "You are special" or something of that nature.
Special. Now I have a banana.
I still don't eat bananas. No, I'm kidding. I love bananas, but
So what do you remember middle school graduation?
I don't. No,
I don't.
I don't.
I remember being really hot in the gym. I do remember that. That's all I know. But I think every graduation.
might have not
in a-
graduated
in
with
a
you guys.
Gym is hot.
Let me think about this. Because I moved around because of my dad and my
Yeah,
mom and
yeah.
all them. Let me see where I was at. Hold on.
Backtrack. All right. Cue the commercial.
I think I was in Meade County. No, I only went to Meade County one year. That was 6th grade. And then I came 7th and 8th grade at Hancock County because I moved in with Mom. I don't remember. Oh, nope. I don't remember. I remember our 5th grade graduation.
Yeah.
And the mural.
Yeah.
Remember we painted that mural at
Yeah.
Lewis Boy Elementary.
Yeah.
And we sing The River by Garth Brooks.
Is that where it began?
That's where, no, it began way before that.
Way before that.
The Chase album. But,
You remember Adrian Marshall?
I don't know.
You don't know? That was the first ever fight that I think I got in, and it was one of those that my dad had to psych me up about because he was bullying us. My brother and I, we were new to the school, and he lived 2 houses down from us.
This is elementary school?
Yeah, man. So he picked on us during the school day, but then after school was over, we were buddies, man. We were like building forts and
Nice.
like playing with knives and stuff. But I snuck up on him in the bathroom, and I intentionally wore my cowboy boots that day.
What grade was this?
Dude, I ain't joking.
What grade was this? This
Fourth,
had to be
fourth
yeah.
grade. It's 4th grade, so it's still good enough.
Yeah.
It's still good enough to talk about. The thing is like you heard the expression. You know, I was caught with my pants down around my ankles.
Yeah, yeah.
He was. Like he was standing there at the urinal with his pants down his ankles.
So what does the boots have to do with it?
Because they were cowboy boots, and when I kicked him,
Oh, you're kidding.
I put him down.
I'll guarantee it.
I put him down. And he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "You're not gonna bully me no more." And I kicked him again, and I just sat there and was like, couldn't look because I was like, he was defenseless in the fetal position. I was like, that's the only time I stood up for myself. I didn't.
Well,
have,
good for you, man.
I know. Thank you, man. Okay, so
Mike Ford says, "Come on, Brian, bro. I was a good kid up until high school. Like I was so scared about everything that involved that. Like I wasn't even thinking about it.
Did you get the talk from your parents
No, they had no clue. No, because I came home and I was like, "Did you use bananas?"
after the
and they're
fact?
like, "Yeah, he don't need the talk. He's good."
"Oh, that was it." My dad.
No, I never had the talk.
I got the 2.5 hour talk. My dad never held back anything. That was the beautiful thing about LB sharing.
I'm still learning, bro.
I'll hook you up, man. I'll give you Dad's number.
I need
He'll
Lyndon.
tell you.
I need Lyndon to talk
he will
to me.
tell you.
bud.
Because
Is my dad on? Dad, why didn't you talk to me, bud?
Yeah, he brought out all the ammo, man. He had them all, dude. And like
Wow.
after 2.5 hours, like I just remember him walking out of the room and Kirk and I looking at each other like, wow, what in the heck?
I was gonna remember.
But he walked out strutting like he was the dude.
Oh yeah. Well, you still remember it, so he was the dude.
No, but the thing was, like, that's sick, man. That's my mom.
Oh, he gave examples.
No,
Man, we're losing.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Mom.
Sorry.
Okay, so 8th grade graduation.
Yeah,
You don't remember 8th grade graduation?
I don't.
Okay.
What year was that? Would have been. I graduated in 90.
Too many shots to the head.
Bro, I can't remember.
All right,
what
high
year
school
was that.
graduation.
95.
High school. Let's fast forward.
I remember that.
Okay, let's hear about it.
So I graduated at Brett County. Boo. So Brett County saved my life, bro.
They did save his life.
Saved my life.
That's the only thing I like about them.
Yeah, I was around a bunch of country folk, and they taught me the country. I worked in the tobacco fields. Like I had no time to get in trouble, which is good. Graduation. It was 1999. I remember we had this big check for $1,999. Then we had a graduation lock-in.
Mm-hmm. Did
Okay.
you go?
Oh yeah. So I went. It was all night. We played Rook. We had a Rook tournament. Me and Terry Carmen. Shout out to Terry Carmen. Won it.
That's intense.
And then they had prizes for everybody.
Mhm.
So you got each table was a different sticker color. Okay. And then one table was like a green sticker, orange sticker, red sticker, whatever. Then you had this wheel. Everybody would spin the wheel. Everybody spin the wheel. I got the orange ticket.
Yeah.
Or the orange sticker. So I went over and I could pick anything on this table. And they had like computer. They had all this stuff. And my name.
The original.
My
iMac.
name was back then and still today Basham. So BA, I was pretty first in line.
Yeah.
So that's how they went by it. So I drew, went over to the table. I'm looking at the computer. I'm like, that's pretty cool. But it was a 99, so it wasn't a big thing back.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really care about it. But I see this envelope, and it said George Strait Festival. And I'm like, what's this? So I picked it up. 2 tickets. George Strait Festival. at
Brett County was hooking y'all
at
up.
Papa John Stadium. I'm like, bro, this is so exciting. I'm taking these, right? And so I win that. Then we had the slideshow of all our baby pictures and all that stuff in the theater.
You won cutest baby.
No, I was a cute baby though. I was a cute baby. But so we watched that. Some people performed "Time of Your Life." Don't take the turn and run and walk together.
Yeah.
So they played that, and then we had sumo wrestling suits. So we did that. We had the Velcro wall. So we jump on the trampoline and stick to the wall. We did that. We played basketball.
That place had to be funky after all these high schoolers sweating.
I guarantee it. But everybody, like, nobody really went out and,
Yeah.
I mean, probably a couple people, like, drank in the parking lot or whatever. But it was a good time, man. Everybody. And next morning I went home and just crashed. But I ended up taking my cousin, Anthony, to the George Strait Festival.
Yeah.
I had George Strait, had Tim McGraw, Kenny Chesney, Dixie Chicks, Asleep at the Wheel, Mark Chestnut. Had all these people at this festival.
So you saw Tim when he was an Indian outlaw.
Right after.
Right after.
Him and Faith Brewer just got together.
Yeah.
I saw Kenny Chesney when he was when everybody thought his tractor was sexy. That was a big song back then. Dixie Chicks before they bashed George Bush. So this is all in their prime, and we were 3 rows back on the ground from the stage. Great seats.
Who the heck?
I know,
There's
bud.
a lot of money in Brett
Anthony,
County.
if you watch this, verify it. Man, it was cool. It was cool. And then my mom and dad went.
Yeah.
They weren't together. They went together.
Yeah.
And they're in the stands. And I smoked cigarettes.
That's the cigarette smoking story.
Yeah. that's when I got caught at Papa John's Stadium. And then I didn't know I got caught.
Yeah.
So fast forward, and then that's when that story comes about. And he's like, "Yeah, I've known the whole time."
Yeah, he had no clue.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my graduation.
Hancock graduation in '99. What brought this up was my nephew telling me the rules and regulations that they had for their graduation, as in the attire, what they had to wear, the dress code. 92 degrees, out in the middle of the sun. Best thing about the graduation is that they forgot the diplomas. They had to jump on the golf cart, go back to the middle school, get the diplomas, then come back. That was awesome. That was great. Well done. Well played.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I was like, man, that's crazy. You know, what if let them wear khaki shorts or let them wear shorts? Just let them dress however they want to dress. You know, I know it's a very important occasion. I know it's something, you know, I'm sure there'll be people that disagree, and that's cool. But
Let him put some shorts on.
look, I told him, I said, my senior year, dude, I said, yeah, we had the same dress code, but I was going to be my own, man. I was going to do me. I was going to be me. And I was
So you didn't wear any pants?
I wore pants in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just now. Okay.
I wore pants in to our graduation, and inside those pants was an air horn.
Nice.
Yeah, I had a big air horn. This could go so wrong real quick.
God, this podcast is not for kids tonight. We
No,
apologize
it's not.
if any kids
So
are
I had
watching.
this big air horn, and I had these like Hawaiian flowered boarding shorts, and I had Chuck Taylors on. So while I'm sitting there, and Mr. Carrick, like, statute of limitations is gone because he was threatening the whole time that
Mr. Carrick.
whoever is blowing this air horn, point them out right now, and the cops will arrest them and escort them out. And as soon as he stopped saying that, I went, meh. Did it again. Like, I was
And
a
this
punk.
is on video somewhere.
It's got to be somewhere, probably on VHS. So during this whole time, man, like, I forget who the valedictorian was. Gavin, and then who was the salutatorian? I don't know. I don't remember, but I was way down the list.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
So I get my pants off, man, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this air horn now. What am I going to do with this air horn? And I
Wait,
look
hold on.
over.
I think I was 176 out of 205.
I was close.
176 out of 205.
I didn't apply myself. If I would apply myself,
2.8.
I would have given them a run for their money.
I'm at a 3.9 in college. Though,
Isn't that crazy how it works?
I cared.
So I get the shorts, get the shoes, all that stuff situated. I don't know what to do with the air horn, and I'm like, man, I'm busted, dude. I'm gonna leave this under my seat. They're gonna see it. And I forget.
Kick.
Okay, so what happened was I had Scarlett Roberts. I said, Scarlett, take this and hide it. And so she took it and she held on to it. I don't know where she put it, but she had it. I didn't. So I walk up.
God bless her.
Yeah, God bless her. I walk up, and the look of disgust on my parents' face. I think. I mean, I kind of see it.
Did they know you had the air horn?
No, and they didn't know.
But they
that
knew it was you.
at the end of it all. I think they end up finding. Now they know.
Like, I mean, why do they look disgusted?
Because when I walked up on stage, I didn't have my nice dress slacks on and my nice dress shoes on. I had baby blue Chuck Taylors and these Hawaiian shorts. And I was just like, And I think I remember one of them saying,
Did Kirk do the same
that's
thing?
cool, but I'm just disappointed. No.
No.
But they were like, yeah, you're going to do whatever you're going to do anyway. But no, I'll never forget that. And then after the fact, I wish I would have went to a project graduation. Or like a project, after prom or whatever, because I would have won George Strait tickets and all that good
You
fun
would
stuff.
have. You should have.
I should have participated in it.
You should have went to Brett County. I
Like-
should have invited you.
No, I wouldn't have went there. We ended up. I'll never forget this one. We were little hellions, man. I mean, we were,
Yeah.
and I feel so bad for my mom and my dad. Thinking back, I'm like, goodness gracious.
And they had two of you.
There was my brother and I, and so we're at this graduation gathering, and there's a pig that's being cooked in the ground, and I mean it's a full blown, just a nice, just casual, fun time of like a bunch of teenagers, out in the middle of nowhere in the country, and my mom I think made a habit of sitting by the scanner, and she would listen, and this is not the first time that my mom did this for us.
Yeah, I've heard.
But it
bunch of
was
stories
but
about
it was the
doing
last time that she
Yeah.
did it. Okay. I see these lights coming down the road. Like you could see the road off in the distance, and these lights are moving, man. I'm like, that's a cop. That's a cop. That's a cop. And then it hits the driveway, and the driveway is like 150 yards, 200 yards long old driveway, and it's got this dip in it. Okay. Well, all I see is this car pull in there, and everybody's like, oh, man, that's a cop, dude. They're moving, dude. They're coming to get us. And it goes, whoom, hits that dip and goes flying up in the air, and you hear the sliding doors on both sides of the minivan. She already had them open, man. It was like, she pulls up in her. She's like, get in. The cops are coming.
Man, that's an awesome mom.
No,
right
it's
there.
not, man, because she was so mad, dude. She like,
But she got you out of there.
She got us out of there.
My mom told the cops to take me to jail, bro.
Well, if it got down to that my mom would have done that. But I just, I'm sorry for all the heartache and the worry. I could never.
You gave her some cute
She's got the
cute grandbabies.
Yeah. So it's
you made up for it.
fair trade. But man, I was thinking, with these graduates, like
Let's talk about your nephew though. I went to a track meet at Davis County.
Yeah, Hayden. Yeah.
And he was there.
He's smooth too.
That boy is cut, man.
He's been working out.
That boy is cut, and I just found out 2 days ago that he's an 8th grader.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro.
Yeah, he's if he keeps at it, he'll be that dude. I think he's got.
And he plays football too, right?
Yeah. There's something about getting into weightlifting. I remember like in 8th grade, I got so tired. You go through that awkward stage of middle school. Where your body's developing, you're going through puberty. We're grown ups, we can talk about this. And I'll never forget, man, having pudgy boobs, and I was just fat. Like I was chubby, I wasn't fat, but I still had baby fat. And even though I'd say there was some picking and bullying, that happened because of how we looked. That I said one day I was just like, man, I went to the basement. My dad had a bunch of sand weights. I'd do pull ups, dude, on old plumbing pipe. That was in there, and I remember dodging like the floor joist with the nails hanging out of it. Like I was doing this, so I didn't like scrape my head wide open, on a rusty old nail, because I got tired
some
of
Rocky stuff, man.
Yeah, some Rocky
Ford
stuff. But you know what I jammed out to? Like this is like such a I don't want to say a loser thing, because there's a lot of people that probably love this lady, but it's the only CD that
Lisa
I had.
Loeb?
No, Brandy, sitting up in my room, thinking about you. That's what it was.
They got you buff though, bud.
But, I mean, it's the only one that I had. But the reason why I played it was because I knew that if I went through 7 songs, as excruciating as a lot of it was, I knew the time. So I had a certain amount of time. I needed to get certain
Different
things
sets
done.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
it would have been easier having a clock downstairs. But yeah, so Hayden, he's growing up, man. And I think if he keeps with it, a lot of that.
Good man too. Like I called him over, and he doesn't know me.
Yeah.
And I called him over. I'm like, "Are you Kirk's boy?" He's like, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir."
Yeah.
And I'm
Really
like,
well mannered. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's really
no, he
well
is.
mannered. I got great nephews.
He was
and
doing
nieces.
the triple jump, I think.
Yeah, I think he was trying all those.
But I just noticed him walking. He
Yeah.
had the tries, and I'm
Yeah.
like, bro.
Yeah, if he keeps at it,
Take it after your
doesn't.
daddy.
He doesn't have much body fat on him, so he's getting stronger by the day, and he's really enjoying it. That's the main thing. As long as he's really enjoying it and passionate
For
about
sure.
it,
Yeah.
I think. I don't.
Seems like he's got a good group of friends, of what I can tell.
Yeah, he does. Minus the goofy one, Jackson Morris. That dude's goofy. I love that kid though.
What is his name?
Jackson Morris. He's a good kid.
Nice.
Really good kid. But
I got a
always look at
nephew.
him, I tell him he's goofy.
I gotta give a
Goofy
shout out to
Jackson.
my nephew. He's probably watching this later, but his name is Jackson. That's what made me think of it. But he's a second lieutenant in the Marines. He's in
A
Quantico,
little more
Virginia.
accomplished than a track runner, my nephew.
Yeah, but I mean, he's 20, 24,
Oh,
23.
you got Tom Hayden.
23. But boy, he's just super smart,
Mm.
and he's just super smart.
Thank you for your
So,
service, Jackson. Thank you, my man.
That's all I really can say. This is how secret. Like when I was in the Army, like everybody just like, yeah, he's artillery, he's in Fort Sill,
Yeah.
you know, he's right here or whatever. Like we can't even talk. Like, yeah, he's in the Marines. That's all I can say.
That's it.
That's it. That's how smart that dude is. That's all I can say,
Yeah,
and that's cool.
that is really dang cool.
That is really cool. But man, I don't know where we're going with that.
Okay,
I think you're going somewhere.
I was
with
going
it.
somewhere. All right, but Hayden got everybody distracted.
Yeah. With his muscles.
With his muscles and his triceps and his biceps. Now I was thinking about, the transition from, 8th grade to your freshman year, and man, I'll never forget those moments. I think it's like even now, like when you start a new job, transitioning from a job that you've
Yeah.
had experience at forever today, then you walk into a place. It's kind of the same feeling that you have of like you go from, not saying you're top dog at wherever you're at, but you're known. You know what you're doing in a sense, and then you make the next move and you come in very vulnerable.
Bro, I went through it multiple times in my life.
Me too. I don't even put all of them on the resume because I'm afraid nobody will ever hire me.
No, I meant like just school.
Oh, school. Yeah.
Schools in general, man.
Yeah,
That's how
Yeah. Well,
that's
I
how I
take
became
back
a
what I just said
people-
about my resume.
people person,
Yeah.
because I had to go in and, I mean, I didn't walk up to the biggest guy and punch
Yeah.
him like, "Oh, I'm here,"
Yeah.
because I was scrawny.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. It was I had to build a personality,
Yeah.
and build humor. I backed everything with humor, and my thought process, and it's still this way to this day. If I can make them laugh,
Yeah.
I can make them like me.
Yep.
So I joke, and I probably joke too much, but I joke a lot, and that's how I
You just make
That's how I
situation
open up.
the whole vibe easy.
I try to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Not at funerals though. I did that one time.
It's
and
a bad call
It
right
is
there.
a bad call.
it's a really bad call.
So I don't do that anymore.
Funerals aren't a place for humor. Now, the dinner afterwards, yeah, it's time for it.
Oh, for sure.
But
Yeah.
no, there is funerals I've been to, man, where like, okay, I had to do a funeral and I told a story about a gentleman who had passed away, and I told him about the moment that he had a stepson in his arm, like right in the middle of the foyer at church, because the stepson was talking smack. He's like, "Oh, you want to go right now? Let's go!" And he gets him in a headlock right there in the middle. And it was the greatest thing, and everybody laughed. So there is decent humor that can be that is allowed. I think laughter is a great medicine.
Yeah.
So getting to graduation, getting to the transitions of life for these kids, even I think most importantly, like
What's up, pops?
like high school, you have your graduating seniors. Like I'm really focusing right now on the young men.
Yeah.
All right, because it's going to be the majority that would listen to this, in a sense. I think maybe I'm wrong, but it was hard then when we graduated. We didn't have the distractions that they have now. We didn't have the pressure that they have now.
Oh yeah.
And our culture has changed in a sense too about how long children live with parents now. I mean, now it's like I'm a part of that demographic now.
Mhm.
Like I'm 40 years old almost, and I live with my parents until July the 5th at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Amen.
Amen. Because that's when I'm moving out. Anybody will help move, holler at me. I just think, man,
Put in the chat your availability for Jolly Cliff.
yeah, and what your hourly rate is. Muchas gracias, amigos. So, what advice, what encouragement, like what wisdom can you offer these young men that are either moving up into the next level of their education, being eighth grader to freshman, or for the ones that are actually going to go out and face the real world if they're allowed? I say that in all the kindest and nicest of ways, because family, parents, we like to protect our children and put our wings over them. But what advice do you have for them?
Well, this I'll start with the younger ones. So going from middle school into high school, and like you talked about, it's a different beast, man. Because you're gonna have students there that are sophomore, juniors, and seniors that, you know, they made it through the previous year or whatever, so they think they have some cloud.
Yeah.
They think you know, this is their school and all that stuff. So, and I remember being a freshman and going in and kind of getting razzed a little bit and all that stuff. But just be yourself, man. Yeah, that's what I would tell them. Just be yourself, and find your niche. That's your time to find your niche. Find your personality. Find who you're gonna be.
I had a lot of those my freshman
and then
year.
grow on it.
I had a lot of them. I went from being
for sure. I mean, you might be a hick, or you might
I went grunge.
Redneck. Yeah, grunge.
Yeah,
do they even have grunge anymore?
And I was like, I think it's coming back. I had grunge, and then I was Notorious Big and Tupac at one point in time, and then I was like, I think I'm gonna start tucking my shirt in and wearing deodorant.
Like that sounds cool.
Like, I just tried to find your way, you know.
Yeah.
That was really it.
But then, I mean, once you find it, just know that it's going to change 10 more times.
Oh,
but
goodness, yes.
any time that you find it, embrace it.
Yeah.
Right? Be who you are. Don't be fake. Try to fit in. You know, and that's one thing with me
because it's obvious.
It's obvious. That's one thing I can honestly say that I fit in with every group.
Yeah.
Because I was who I was. I was funny. I would do anything for a laugh.
So what about what advice do you have then for the parents of those kids that are going in?
Let them be them. Let them be themselves.
Yeah.
Still have a hand in it because they're still young, but you know, I mean, and like you said, I'm going through it right now, man. So it's, you know, you don't want to be pushy, but you want to be supportive.
Yeah. And
try to guide them right without being too pushy. So if you can find that recipe of success right there, let me know. Because we can still learn. I mean, it's still a learning process. Like I've never had 11-year-old.
Yeah. Right.
This is my first time go at it.
First rodeo.
So we're still learning. Me and Sarah both. Dad said, don't sugarcoat anything. You talk stuff. I don't know what that means, Dad. But yeah, I mean, just I would say just be who you are.
Yeah.
And help your kids be who they are.
Yeah.
You know, embrace it.
I think that secret sauce, that special ingredient in that is for us to remember that we were once that age.
For sure.
Because a lot of the times what happens with us is we lose our empathy with our kids' mistakes, and I come home and I just went through the worst breakup, or I come home and I dropped my tray at lunch and everybody laughed, or
I got a cool story about that.
I mean, all these things they walk in and we just brush off really quick because we're like, that ain't nothing. Try to be in the real world. Try to walk into a job with that nagging supervisor, or not meeting deadline or hitting quota.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to remember that their problems are just as big as ours.
For sure.
And have that empathy.
To them. Yeah.
And it is. I mean, pain is pain, embarrassment it's embarrassment. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter how it comes about. Like, would I be embarrassed today if I was at some sort of seminar and they give you the free Chick-fil-A line and you walk through and you get your Chick-fil-A and you go to open the box and all my Chick-fil-A nuggets hit the floor? I'd look around and I would say, anybody got extra sauce?
Yeah.
You make light about it. You get smarter with that.
Yeah.
But back then, no, sir. No, you
go hide in the library and hope nobody sees you. You know what I mean?
So what about for your graduating senior young men that are going to be pursuing either a production job or maybe going to college or picking up a trade?
This might not be a popular thing to say, but I'm okay with taking a year off.
Yeah.
Take a year off. What do they call that? They call
Sabbatical?
it something. No, that's when that's
I've been in school for 12 years. I need a sabbatical.
That's another topic. Oh, they call it something. I can't think of it. Anyways, take a year off and
Go work at Holiday World.
go work at Holiday World. Go get a job.
Don't mooch off your parents.
Yeah, just you don't have to rush into stuff. Now there are some kids out there
Yeah.
who have their future paid.
Yeah.
Right, because they actually paid attention in high school,
Yep.
and they found a passion that they want. For them, go get it.
Yeah.
Right, give it all you got. Don't get married too soon. Like just
Yeah.
live. Just live. And it's just not college; it's trade school. I mean, trade school is where it's at right now.
Oh, goodness, yes.
Because I mean, once you get a trade, like my brother went, and I've talked about this before. He went to OCTC, became an electrician. Boy, he's sitting pretty, right?
Yeah.
Because he can do that. You should see the screen right now. You're just going like nuts.
I am?
Yeah. I think we're good. I
We're
think
good.
it's just his computer. Anyways, but in my profession right now, I mean, I help people try to find jobs. Normally, it's people older than us or our age.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still young kids who they don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
They don't know if they want to go to college, and if they do go to college, what are they going to go for? Maybe they can't afford college.
Yeah.
There's programs out there that can help them and all that stuff, but I mean, they can get a job. Like, it's pretty cool. There's people out there, aka me,
Yeah.
that can help like build a resume, that can help interview, that can get them set up for that. And this is not a plug for my job. I'm just
No, but I
saying.
think it's really cool because, like, so there are graduating seniors, whether you're a young woman or young man, that, like, if they're looking to, say, find that summer job, or if they're looking to find that job that's going to get them through the next year while they try to figure out what do I want to do with the next foreseeable future, or what's coming up.
Man, it took until I was 38 to know what I wanted to do with my life.
But you can help them though. Like, so there's probably jobs that you have that
for sure
would be good for an 18-year-old.
And again, not a plug, but there's other people that can help them too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff out there that can help them find their way or put them on a path to get to that way. Right. It might not be a career thing that they do. It might be a detour. What we talked about before. It might be a detour in their life. And
just another on ramp or off ramp.
That's it. That's right.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's tons of stuff to help them. They need to get educated about all your resources.
Right.
Get with the guidance counselors. Get with because every high school I found out has a career coach or a career counselor. Get with them and say, hey, high school's coming to an end, or it's already come to an end, or whatever. What am I going to do? Right? Talk it out with them. We just like me and you do. I mean, we call within the week and say, hey, what are we going to talk about? We just throw stuff against the wall, right? And whatever sticks. But I just don't take it too serious.
Don't take it too serious.
They're saying the sound is awful.
The sound is awful.
That's what it says.
The sound is awful. On my mic or on Brian's?
Me or Paul or both? Is it too loud? Is it too low?
Well, that's great. We've been talking forever and a day about some
I know.
really
Did
good
y'all hear
stuff.
anything
Thanks.
we said?
Yeah, appreciate the heads up
thank
on
you.
that. Let me disappear for a second. Brian, start singing on my song. Give him a Garth Brooks song, buddy.
Hey. Well, if it sounds awful, I don't want to do that.
No, you need to because that is really do.
Come on now. Christy says sounds perfect in my end. Are we too loud, Dad? Hold on. Little pause in the action here. Hold on. Little pause in the action here. I mean, that sounds good.
Who said it sounds awful?
Dad and my dad and my aunt.
What's good on our end, so it must be on their end. Ask them what kind of Wi-Fi they have.
Hey, Aunt Joe and Dad, why don't you just get out of it real quick, close it out, and get back in and see if that helps.
Yeah, you need to regroup, folks. Going.
Well, we apologize you can't hear it. It will be on the podcast later tonight, so the sound will be perfect.
Yeah, it'll be
on
great.
that one. You'll catch
It'll be
everything. But yeah, close out of it, get back in, see if that helps. Love y'all.
Love you, Dad.
So yeah. So anyways, there's man, that brings up a question.
Yeah.
So we might not be old enough yet because it's still kind of fresh. But
Shoot.
if you could go back to high school, would you? And live your high school days.
If I could do it all within 24 hours.
That's a busy 24 hours.
Yeah, but if I could do it, like, I really wouldn't. Honestly,
I mean, do you think you had a good
my
high school life? And obviously it brought you
overall
where you are
experience.
right now.
Overall experience. Yeah, we had a great high school, Rural County and Hancock County. Go Hornets. Yeah, man, a great high school experience. I was, if everybody said you go back, I'd line up across, just stand there toe to toe with the past version of me and like smack him around a little bit, tell him to get his crap together.
Yeah.
But no, man, because I don't miss the learning how to deal with the anxieties of life. What is important, what's not important. Learning all those intangibles, man. And it was like I don't miss some days for nothing. So being a youth pastor and dealing with these kids and seeing how their relationships are, and one brings in a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and I'm like, oh man, I really like them, they're good, and then like 2 weeks later they broke up, and you're like, and then you're like, what happened? And I'm like, I don't miss that drama, man. Yeah, like I was not a good boyfriend in high school at all.
Bro, you are about to get so much drama.
Yeah,
you got 2 girls.
Well, they're gonna be okay. I'm gonna take care of them. Like that's for sure. Like I for real will. I will take care of my kids. And it's nothing personal to any of my friends' sons. Like to them personally. But
it ain't happening.
Yeah, but if old dude tries to cross the line, I know they'll respect my my decision.
Yeah, I mean I think you.
I say that now.
I
I'll
think
be a big pushover.
You raise your kids right. I mean they, hopefully they.
Oh, they'll be good.
They pick. I mean that's what you hope for. But that kind of goes along with the line. You can't be pushy. You got to help kind of push them and gradually. Gradually get them that way.
I think we have to be intentional about our parenting, going back to the girl dad, thing. It was, we had to be intentional about it. We had to be systematic too, and creating time to, and hopefully, the model that we give them on what relationships are supposed to look like in a sense too, with our wives, that they see that and they're like, okay, this is what's acceptable. This is what's not acceptable. And they can base their choices in the future off of, okay, this is a good guy, and then when they get in the situation where they say this is not a good situation because that's not the model that I witnessed growing up. So trying to be very intentional about it. Like it's funny when my kids call me out, like, Dad, Mom, stop arguing. I'm like, we're not arguing. Like, it's not arguing. But if it gets above baby talk, like, then we're arguing. Yeah. Like, we're talking normal to each other.
For them, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, if she calls me by my name, like Paul, oh, it's on. It's on. Like, they think it's on,
That's the same way. Like, Sarah will say Brian. And even I'm like, why are you using that tone with me?
Don't you call me that.
Don't you call me by a government name. What are you doing? But it's funny, and a lot of people will say, and it's mostly people who played sports. It's like, I'll go back to high school so I can do that again, right? It's kind of a, you get older and your knees start to hurt and you can't do what you did. You're like, I want to go back and have that body again. But there's a lot of things like, meeting your old self. And I would definitely smack the crap out of my
You'd smack
old
Bongo
self.
around.
Bro. Bro. He wouldn't even know what came at him right
Who's
then.
this dude named Brian? I don't know Brian.
Man. But, no, I definitely need everything that I would give myself.
Yeah.
I would deserve every bit of it. But, yeah, man, you just think about life. Like last week, and I'm not even going to act like I was involved in any of it, but Music Studios
Yeah.
had their big showcase.
Uh-huh.
Travis's daughters were in it. My daughter's in it. Christy's on here. Christy Ray. You know
Yeah.
Christy Ray?
Yeah.
You do know Christy Ray?
I think so.
Well, if you don't, you need to.
Yeah.
And her whole family. They're awesome. But Sarah, my wife, she was backstage all week. And poor Addison, I mean, and all the kids, they practiced from 3 to 8 every night.
Yeah.
And then all weekend they did 204 shows. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think 208 dances. 208 dances in 2 days.
What?
Crazy, bro. Crazy.
That is crazy.
So the kids were tired, but it was a great show. But you think about like life and how busy it gets and how hectic it gets, and then you got a day to like, relax.
Yeah.
And it's the best. Like you look back on it, and you're like, man, that was an awesome show.
Right.
That was an awesome show. But during it, you're like, man, I'm tired and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like I think in life, when you think about like high school, like, oh, I loved it, man. I'll go back. But while you're going through high school, it's like, I can't wait to get out, man. This thing
I
is
know.
horrible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think that's everything in life, right? And people say, would
Everybody's
you go
ready
back?
for the weekend.
Yeah, would you go back to high school? Oh, yeah, I'd totally do it.
Looking
So
forward to the weekend.
I guess what I'm saying is don't take it. Enjoy what you went through, because that's why you're where you're at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I would love to have a younger body. I would so love to have a younger body. But I'm comfortable with where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Man, there's been several, the kids that I was able to had the privilege of
we're live,
being
Dad.
a small part, in coaching. And man, there's one that I'll never forget. Several that I'll never forget, but one in particular that I just always felt like he just had something very unique and special about him. Like he was very. There's two kids, actually two kids. There's been more, but
When was this?
this is back. It's been within the past 10 years.
Okay.
But one kid just graduated college.
I'm going to take me a sip.
Yeah, take you a ship.
Dr. Pepper, for anybody who's wondering. Beep, beep. Alcohol free since 2006.
Oh. Whoa.
I just spilled on myself.
Whoa. He probably should have put some alcohol in it. I'm just joking. But seriously. But this young man, now he's a grown man. He posted that he just got engaged. He just graduated, and I think he's going into engineering school now.
Bro.
And I was like, this guy, I was like, what? You mean you've already graduated college, and he's on to now being engaged? He's always had it together. But I remember him coming over on the sideline, and this is 8th grade, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is silliness. Like, this is why I knew this kid. There's been another scenario that's happened with another kid that is graduating this year. Same thing happened to him, and except a different part of his hand. But Tyler Kratzer goes and jacks his finger up. Like, it gets caught between two helmets. Boom. And he comes running over, and he's holding it, and he's trying not to show anybody like it's hurt, like I'm crying, like I'm crying. And I look at his finger, and I'm like, oh, Lord have mercy. Like, that thing is broke. Like it's messed up, like black already, puffed up. I'm like, compound fracture, got to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Rolling it over, like, no, it's not through the skin. It's not like all, disfigured and stuff like that, but it was huge within a second. And he goes, I don't want to come out of the game. And I look
Tape
up.
it up, coach.
Well,
Tape it
okay,
up.
so look, it's an 8th grade kid,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like, it's an 8th grade kid. Well, I turn around and I look, and his dad is standing there on the rail there, and he looked at me and he said, what'd he say? I said, he wants to play. And he goes, then let him play. And that was probably the coolest moment I think that I ever had, other than my adopted grandma, Nana. I love Nana, Darian Clay's grandmother, mom / Nana is.
Yeah.
I love Nana. Nana was kind of the same way when Darian come over, and his finger, it had popped out of socket, and Darian wasn't going to show me because he knew if I saw it, he was afraid I was going to pull him out of the game.
Yeah.
And so he walks towards me and kind of just takes a V-line right towards Nana, and Nana looks at it, and I see her like kind of turn. They turn away, and she pops it right back in.
Mm.
Yeah, no joke. Tough
Went
cat,
back
man.
out there.
That class right there, man. Them boys like T-Rob and like all these that are graduating this year, man. That is probably overall class, probably the most impactful, memorable class for me. They're overall like the unity that just you were not gonna fight one without getting all of them.
That's awesome.
Like they were,
and
a
that's what you
phenomenal
need
group.
in a team, right?
So, but that's what you need in a team. But the thing was, going back to Tyler Kratzer's dad saying, then let him play.
yeah.
That was that moment. Okay, so that kind of parenting. I know we all have different approaches to parenting. All right. And I'm not saying that Tyler Kratzer's dad was the best dad of all time in the world, but at that moment, he made the best dad decision out there, because what we have done is raise a generation in a sense that, you know, we put them under a wing and we want to protect them. I think every parent wants to protect a kid, but we have done a really bad job at letting them hurt,
Yeah.
letting them learn how to deal with you know, disappointment. And because as soon as child A is disappointed and child B for some reason, oh dude, it could be the most minor thing, man. Somebody's blowing the phone up, calling this, calling that. It's insane now, man. And okay, so I think I've already said it once. My wife, she was like all tore up about track pictures for elementary track. She was like, I can't believe it. She goes, I mean, I was furious. I was furious. Told them they're going to have to run laps if they don't stop. And I'm like, well, good. You know, I mean, like, our kids need to learn that structure, you know?
They do. And I'm a firm believer, and I know my wife is there. I know she's a firm believer that, like, our daughter needs to have different coaches.
Oh, yeah.
Other than me than her, because you learn something from each coach, right? But, and I'm going to talk about dance again, Leanne.
Yeah.
She is one
Drill
of the
sergeant.
She
Gotta
is
be
the
200
one,
whatever.
one
Shows
of the toughest coaches
but she got them all to
that
do
I've ever
that.
seen.
She got them all to do
But
it.
yeah, she modes them, man.
Yeah.
She modes them, and they had the senior dances, and they each, all of them,
Yeah.
said, "I found myself. I found that I could do something that I never thought I
Yeah.
could do," and before any having girls or whatever, you know, I wasn't a big fan of cheerleading,
Yeah.
right? I don't think it was a sport. I do now.
Yeah.
But like dance, I didn't think of that as being a sport. But bro, I went to dance. Did I tell you this already? I went to dance. I was gonna dance.
Yeah.
And I went to one practice.
Yeah.
And we didn't even dance. We just did like movement to get loose, and like we weren't even dancing. Bro, my ankles. I sprained my ankle. First day. I'm like, I'm out.
Dad rolled an ankle. Rolled an ankle.
I'm out, man. And I have a picture, and I'm like, you know, it was hot and sweaty, and it was good, and bro, I was out.
Dad
I
rolled an
I
ankle
couldn't
at
hang.
dance practice.
But I still want to do it. I'm like, oh, I still want to do it, but I know I'm getting old, so.
So this, you know what? Here's my thought, man.
Tell me your thought, Paul.
Dude, these seniors now that are, most of them are legally adults now.
Yeah.
Most of them, the majority of them. I was one of those who graduated, then turned 18 after graduation. But most of them now, they start kindergarten like 6 years old. So they graduate, they're 18.
Mm-hmm.
I bet 99.9% of them are probably graduating 18 years old.
I was 17. I was a young buck.
I just don't want to shelter my kids. And I hope that anybody listening would be willing to sacrifice comfort and convenience for growth opportunities.
Well, I can honestly say my mom and dad, more my mom, did not shelter me. I mean, my mom threw me in the fire.
Yeah.
She's like, you go and get yourself a life. Like, join the army. It was the
She
best
took you.
decision she could ever did. Because with the military came discipline, you know, responsibility. And there was still stuff even when I got out, like, you kind of yearn for it.
Yeah.
Because I had it, right? I had that sergeant that took care of me, and he made sure everything was right. I still had that up until the day I left. And when I got out in civilian world,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, where do I lean?
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm already too far gone from my parents. What I thought. Too far gone from my parents because I'm an adult. I'm a man now. And I was like, where do I lean, right? So, but it falls back on I had discipline and I had,
Right.
you know, all this stuff. And that's when you start to learn when you're doing it by yourself.
Right.
Right. Because you can do a lot of stuff with, like me as a parent, right? Your kid, you can help your kid along, do their homework. They'll pass their grade, right? But when they graduate, you can't be there anymore.
Yeah.
And if you've done everything for them, they're like, oh my gosh.
Or you've backed them up or bailed them out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and you bailed them out.
Let them spend a night in jail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
What's
it's
the worst that's going to happen?
But it's even like, you know, all these kids, they had to go through all this virtual learning and, you know, and even before virtual learning, even when they were in school, and then, you know, midterms would come around and you'd say, well, or grades would come in and it'd say, are you eligible to play this week? No. And I'd be like, whose fault is that?
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, for them, like, you have an assignment that is due. All right. If you don't put max effort into that assignment, it's on nobody but yourself, man. And so, you know, it was really cool. That 8th grade group I was talking about, that as a team, we were one student away, one player away from every single one of them being on the AB honor roll. And that one student barely missed it, man. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
You know, but it was an
That's
amazing.
one thing I never was on.
No, I never was either. But it was really cool to see them all, like, you know, they all felt accountable for each other. They all knew that if I don't do the things that I hate doing with max effort, then it's not only affecting me, it's affecting others around me. You know,
sure.
So in the future, you know, those were examples I'd give them. You're going to have to go to work, man. You're going to have to do a job that you hate doing to provide, you know, and I promise you're going to do that. I had to do it. I still at times think, man, I'm going to have to go do this to earn extra money. If I didn't go through the muck and the mire, man, and learn in those situations, then I'm never going to even step foot out to say, okay, I'm willing to do this for my family. And it's an experience that they can have growing up. I just,
Well, that brings a good question. Like, as an adult, okay, and I'm not making fun of you, but
Okay,
you're away from your parents, technically, right? I mean, you still live with them right now, but you're away from. I mean, what I'm saying is, you make decision as
I live
you
upstairs.
and
They live
Cammie.
downstairs.
Yeah, you and Cammie make decisions for your family. So, as an adult, how do you deal with like disappointment? Right? We talked about this a little bit earlier. How do you deal with disappointment, and like where do you?
So there's different levels of disappointment, and to me there is are different categories, I would say. So there's I think self-derived in a sense disappointment. That's your own internal competitive side, I think, that you have. Like if I don't succeed at something that I thought I should have succeeded in, or if I was seeking affirmation on like a job that I did, or, you know, everybody likes that a boy or a good job, you know, or whatever. Man, I, you know, just recently went, you know, another level of disappointment or category of it. I was really excited about, you know, a possibility that was going to happen. And, the possibility was there, but it wasn't fully the potential that I thought it was going to be. It was only just a portion of it. And so
you got your hopes up.
Yeah, my hopes got up.
Yeah.
And I very rarely ever let myself emotionally get invested into possibility. So whether it's in purchasing a house or a car or buying anything like that, I don't get emotionally invested into it. I get excited after the fact, like, yes, you know, because I found, you know, when I put my emotions on the line for things that haven't happened yet, and it's dependent upon other people. I'm not saying I don't have faith in other people to come through, but I'm just saying they're human too, man, and they're going to make the decisions they feel is best at that time. So I can't let myself become emotionally invested. So that's how I deal with it is just basically, well, I mean, okay, then there's a reason why, you know, there's got to be a bigger picture to all of this. Like right now, like, okay, as a youth pastor, you know, I started out the first night, man, I had 4 kids. The first night 5 years ago, 5 years and 2 months and however many days, 3 days.
Yeah, you had just got that when we moved here.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I wondered, I was like, why the heck did they hire me, man, to do this? And I mean, it's obvious they needed somebody to be their youth minister. But what was amazing about that experience of the growth time of it was that we started with 4, and then we had 20 something, and the 4 that started there were literally the only 4 whose parents went to our church. Okay, all the other kids were all kids that these 4 invited this one, then this friend invited this one, and so we had 20 something kids. And then it got to be where there was such a mix of middle school, high school. I started seeing high schoolers drop off, so I split them. And I did middle school one night, high school one night, and the numbers just went boom, and we shot up to about 60 kids. And out of all those kids, again, probably at that point in time, there may have been like 5 or 6 parents who attended our church, but all the other kids were friends or whatever. It was a really cool time. Fast forward to right now. Without a family that attends our church bringing all their kids, we're literally down to like 4 kids again.
Yeah.
You know, if this family doesn't show up, then that's it. And disappointment. How do I deal with the fact that, like, say this past Sunday night, I sit there and I'm wondering, all right, it's 5:35, it's 5:40. Where the heck are these? Where are they at?
Yeah.
You know, how do I deal with that? Like, I have to get excited. My emotions have to be there. If I'm flat, it's not going to be a very good time.
Yeah.
So
I mean, 1 kid or 50 kids.
So 5:45 rolls around, and I send out a message, and I'm like, hey, look, I'm assuming none of y'all are showing up. All right. I wanted to be like, it would have been nice to have a heads up. So this sweet lady that orders pizza for us every single weekend didn't go and buy $60 worth of pizza.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of, I don't want to, let me say this without offending anybody.
You say it how you need to.
Which is not probably going to go the way that I want it to go, but it's going to be said anyway. Growing up, dude, there is a thing that's called like just a common courtesy.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, back then, for one, I didn't have the choice whether I was going to go on Wednesday night or Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, it was, we're going to church, folks.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we do. This is who we are. You know, it's not a checkbox thing. This is what we believe. It's part of our faith. Here we go. So if the doors were open, we were going to go. And
there's a
that was
song
it.
by Elevation Music.
Yeah.
Talking to Jesus.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Yeah.
But, man, I didn't have that. And if I couldn't, I had to call and tell them that I'm not going to be at youth tonight. Okay. And then, of course, as I got older, you know, junior, senior year of high school, and you're working, and you got to pay for your insurance and your car and whatever, you know, that's definitely understandable. Like, I get that, man. Like, hats off to them for working. We still stay in contact, man, the kids and I do that are working. But it's our generation now, the millennials and the Gen X, and how we parent, that we allow our kids to make the choices. Literally, if kid does not want to go to the park, kid wants to stay home and eat Icy Pops looking out at a sunshiny day, you can say what you want, but I think at least, I'm going to throw out 90% of parents, okay, you know, we'll just stay in, fine, you know, and like,
I mean, it's true. I mean, it's true though.
Because what happens?
Nobody's parenting like Lyndon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody's parenting like Kathy.
Right.
Like they were. So
no, it's not like that anymore, man. But I think the bigger question to ask in this situation is, what is happening to families in the church? What is happening to, and I didn't mean to take this whole thing and shift it in a whole other direction. Actually, whenever you asked, what are we going to talk about? This was the topic that I was like, we're going to talk about what happened to families in the church. Okay.
Yeah.
What happened to,
now see,
you know,
and I'm with you, because there is a lack of it, right?
But why? What do you think caused it?
That's a good question, man. If I knew,
okay, so if we think about
then
it,
I could change it, you know.
Well, but here's a really cool, you know, interesting thing to think about is okay, if we're going to point the blame, I think, at anybody, it should be the church. It's not the families. Like, what have we done to adapt?
Right there.
To change. You know, what have we done? So there is this conversation that happens. Well, back then it used to be this way. and we were here. I just said it a second ago. I didn't have the option. I was forced to go to church. Okay,
Yeah.
why? Because them growing up, my parents, they had to be at church too. So it was a way of life. It's what happened. And then there's a culture shift. Stuff happens. Travel ball comes into the picture, and next thing you know, it's there it is. Sundays.
Sarah just said it.
Yeah.
But social media, and I've been saying this for a while, and if anybody, I apologize, but I'm just being vulnerable. I'm being real. So I get it during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Facebook Live, church service.
Yeah.
Sit on the couch. I get it. We weren't supposed to leave, right? It's getting better. I won't say it's going away. It's getting better where you can actually come to church.
Yeah.
I am a firm believer, and we just had a conversation today how to make it better, right? But that is just me. Like, I just want it to be better, but I'm a firm believer of getting rid of it. Just stopping the Facebook Live for church, because as Christians, you're gonna need Jesus in your life, right? You always need Jesus in your life, but you're gonna need that place where you can go to pray and learn the word and everything. And if you don't get it on Facebook Live or YouTube or whatever you're on, you're gonna have to go find it. You're gonna have to come back into the church, right? So I say, get rid of it. Get rid of Facebook Live for church services. Now there are some people, I get it, that can't make it. I get it. I'm not saying don't record it,
Right.
and not send it to them.
Yeah, so that option is there. I think you give them what they call Miss Kathy. She calls them beignets, and that's just that's what it is. You give them the small portion of it.
Country folk calls it venues, right?
Yeah, venues. So I think the real issue is this: is that we took something that was working really, really, really well, and then we allowed something that seemed like it was a bigger issue than what the issue actually was. And we end up submitting to that and saying, well, okay, I guess we're going to change the way that we do things in a sense, but not to accommodate you or your family or the pace of the world today. We're just going to kind of stick to what we do, and that's it, but we're going to tweak it a little bit. So what has been the biggest issue in a sense with corporate worship, organized religion in the church to the family today? You walk into somewhere, you walk into a building that's built like a church. It looks like a church. It's got the steeple, it's got everything on it. Like you would automatically identify it. That's church. Okay, that's what it is. But what is it Monday through Saturday?
It's just a building.
It's all it is.
Yeah.
All right. So what's organic about that? What's authentic about it? What's real about it? Because what I want to experience, and the people that I've talked to that have either stepped out of the church or have been unchurched, and their opinions would basically be, a lot of their opinions were based off of other people's opinions and experiences. But I've asked these questions to individuals who have stepped out of it, families, people who have kids, and like, why don't you, what is it? And they're like, oh man, I know I should. I'm like, no, that's not, like, I'm not here to guilt trip anything.
Yeah.
I just want to know what is it that made you decide that this isn't really that important in my life right now? I said, but what would make it seem like, man, this is something I have to be a part of? Like, so why you stopped.
Yeah.
But what would it take for
That's
this
a
to be
good
something
question,
that
man.
this is something I got to be a part of? And let me tell you, dude, I think we've beat a dead horse for so long. It has to be something that we do life together. It does not matter. Like, we do discipleship while doing life together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
and this is not a plug, but I think every church is like this, right?
Yeah.
But and I agree with what you said, man. Like Wednesday and Sunday, right? It's a church, right? People come, but Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday,
busy.
Saturday,
busy my schedule.
Yeah.
Tough.
But see, it's different because me and Sarah, we're always at the church, right? And we do it for the purpose of serving others.
Yeah.
And Christy, shout out to you, thank you. But we get up Sunday morning. We wake up at 5:00 and we get the kids up. So there's no like, Addie doesn't get to say, I'm not going to go to church today. Right?
Yeah.
She knows Saturday night she's got to get to bed early because we got to get up early on Sunday morning and go to church. We wake Avery up in the morning. Granted, she's only 3.
Yeah.
We wake Avery up in the morning and we say, hey, do you want to go to church? She pops right up. She's like, yeah, I want to go to church.
Yep.
She loves church. That's her family, right? So I think, and not saying we're perfect, but I think if families did that, again, what you just said, your mom and dad, we're going to church. It becomes, and we don't push it on them.
Right.
We just say we're going there. That's the place we're going to be at Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. If anything's going on in the church, we're there at the church. Because when we moved back to Kentucky, that was the one thing I called you. You're the second person. I'm sorry. Aaron Brown was the first person. You're the second person I called and said, hey man, we want to get in the church. We want to be part of a church family, because that's important to me and Sarah and our kids. A kid at the time, but now our kids, is we want to find a church family to grow with. Because I mean, they said it all night. It takes a village, right? Yeah. It takes a village to learn about God, to learn how to live, to get your moral compass centered, right? Again, but I think we go back to it, man. Get your family up and go in there. Try to get something. You can, and I said this before, but every sermon you can get something from.
Oh yeah, you can get something out of every sermon,
right?
But I think
you just gotta open it.
But I think what it is that there is that opportunity to be fed on a Sunday in a sermon, all right. But then there's that person that you see. It could be Sunday afternoon at Kroger, and you get no acknowledgement, but they were really happy to see you whenever you showed up at church. Yeah. That tears me up, man. Like it eats
it
me
does.
up.
I mean, you got to be genuine in it.
But you get that everywhere you go. Yeah. Okay. So how do you create a culture then that is authentic and organic at a place? So okay, let me give you an example of something. So I like to fish. I recently discovered I like to play golf. For real.
Was that there? I was there for that.
Yeah, you were
was
there.
That the day?
That was the second. Yeah, first day. You were there the
that
first day.
That was the first
day. So I went the second time too.
Yeah.
I have not been sober since 2006. Like for some crazy reason, my brother has gotten me onto this kick of like fancy bourbon. I can't afford it, but I like to do the whole pinky up, swirl around.
Smell
do
it.
I taste the oak? Do I smell it? Do I taste it? And I'm like, this is sweet, this is blah, blah, blah. Like I sound so stupid.
I'll tell you a story one time of why I'm sober.
Okay, but it's those groups. Like you create like life groups in a sense. Like, hey, dude, we're gonna start a men's group, dude. Look, we're gonna go and all we do is just go fish. That's all we do. We go once a month to go fish.
That's all we got for the live. I think your camera exhausted.
Deader than a doornail.
Should we go off Facebook Live or should we just? Can you hear our voices?
Yeah,
they can still hear our voices.
They can hear our voices, but
y'all let us know if you want to see us or if you just want to listen to us. We'll keep on going.
Yeah, we're about done anyway because I got to get to the hizzy. So I think create those off the wall random groups, where people can do life together. You can build relationships, being a part of a place or building a culture at a place that like we really do care about the people that show up and walk in. Being very intentional about who you pick and choose, in a sense of who the first faces are that is seen when they walk into that place. Yeah. And basically making them feel like this is your home away from home.
And that's what when we were looking for a church, that's what we wanted. We walked into Cross Point. No knock on any other churches. We walked into Cross Point. We were greeted. They knew we weren't regulars.
Yeah.
And they said, welcome to our church.
Yeah.
And me and Sarah were like, yeah, this is it. I mean, instant.
Yeah.
We didn't even hear the preacher yet. I've heard him before, but she didn't even hear the preacher. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, this is it. And we sat down in service and we've been going ever since.
And see,
and we don't miss very much Sundays. Like, and we enjoy it. Like, it doesn't matter that we're worship leaders.
Yeah.
even when we weren't worship leaders, we enjoy going to
Yeah.
the church, right? Because we had the group of friends and all that stuff. I think they're going to come out and tell us that we have no camera.
Yeah.
We know, but
We
you
know.
can still hear us.
So it's, that's it, is, when you can, if you can create a place
Mhm.
that is real, man.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have people that show up that are just there to check it off the box.
Yep.
Did it,
That-
done and done.
I ain't got a motion.
And that's okay, man. But the church as a whole has to be on point, man, with the overall vision of we are going to create a place of unity, even through friction. We're all unified in this together, man. Disagree or not, I just feel like we have to see it beyond
For sure.
what's been done.
Well, I tell you what, man. June 7th, we have. I think it's June 7th. Whatever Monday is close to June 7th.
Okay.
I think it is June 7th.
Okay.
We're gonna have John Burnham on the show.
That's going to be exciting.
Real world
True story.
OBKY resident, a man of God-fearing Christian. But
Yeah.
his dad, I think his dad was a preacher.
Daddy was a preacher.
And he
Papa was a
lived a life through MTV
Yeah.
and never strayed, kept his path, and everybody knew it. So I think this conversation should be brought back
Yeah,
up.
we'll cut it
We'll
off right there.
revisit. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll revisit it. I think it'll be a good conversation piece for him because he's in it now.
Yeah.
I know he travels and stuff, but we'll get back into him. But June 7th, John Brenham, mark it down on your calendar. Should be a great show.
And hopefully it'd be cool to bring old Kurt Hoffman on because he's about the same age as him, and they
As John?
both have seen the rise and the fall of
Yeah.
they've been through a lot.
Well, let's get with Kurt. I know John. I've been texting John.
Nice.
John's good to go. We're going to do it through Zoom, so we're going to put him on somehow.
Yeah.
Paul knows how to do it, so I'm going to let you do that too.
Sure.
We'll figure something out. But we appreciate everybody jumping on. Sorry we lost the camera.
9:00. Lord, my wife's gonna kill me.
We'll get better. Next one will be better.
We just won't talk about church stuff. That's what happens.
I mean, I think it's good to talk about. But yeah, no, good conversation. We will be here next Monday, my birthday.
8x40.
Big 40. We're gonna have a big party on the podcast. We're gonna have shout out to Sarah. We're gonna have an apple pie. I only eat apple pies on my birthday. I don't eat birthday cakes. My mom spoiled me. I'm not a big cake fan, and my mom knew that. She got me apple pie. So every year I've had an apple pie, and then Sarah, once we married, picked up the tradition. I got an apple pie in there right
That's
now
a
too.
good woman right there.
That is.
That's your
I
good
love her.
woman.
All right, we gonna sign out.
Sign out. Y'all keep it real.
Thank y'all.
Congratulations, all you graduates out there.
What's that graduation song that they always sing?
Go
ahead and knock it out.
I don't know.
You know,
Ba, ba, da, da, ba, ba, da, da.